They rather want me to stop this whole thing. They feel like it's not healthy. They feel like, oh, you got anger issues. You know, you don't, unless you have anger issues, then go ahead and do boxing. But that's not what it's about. So hopefully I get to prove them wrong with time and stuff. How I got into modeling, basically, I was introduced to Todd Powers and his wife Jen Raven, and from there I found out that they do concept modeling, which is different than what you see around town. Like, you know, it's very different. It actually had a purpose behind the photography and how you express yourself. So I feel like that's what really got me into modeling. So instead of just modeling, I'll just do like art modeling. I was born actually in Mexico, Oaxaca, and I was brought over here at 11 months old. So I turned 1 as soon as I came to Bakersfield when my family immigrated here. My whole life has always been here. They are very cultural. They still believe in the chancla. Like if it doesn't string you out, then there's something wrong. They're not very Americanized, even though they lived here for so long. They still keep on with traditions. We have our values, our morals. I think in the Mexican culture, that's very important.
So the past year, I've worked on a few short films with Hectic Films, and then a few projects with people who I've met through Hectic Films, but we worked on side projects as well. I went down to LA to Kamikaze that was in November, or actually the end of October. And I ran into the school had a booth down there, and I got to watch them applying makeup to some models, and it was a lot of fun to watch. They had a drawing for a scholarship, and I'm pretty sure they call everybody who fills out the information, but they end up calling me on my birthday a week later, and so I was just like, wow, it's kind of gotta check it out. And so I went down toward the school. I had some obligations I needed to finish up with, and so then I started school the following June. Before I went to school, I would just, if I saw something, I would kind of mix it with other things I would see, either photos or YouTube videos. So the same thing now is I tend to take, if I have a concept someone's given me, I'll take multiple pictures and get like an idea off of other stuff, but create my own concept after it.
So I always wanted to be a journalist. I used to be obsessed with a magazine called Alternative Press, which was a music magazine. And I was kind of obsessed with going to shows and stuff, but I always liked talking to artists and kind of getting behind the scenes and figuring out the stories behind songs, the stories of how the band got together. So I kind of always knew that I wanted to be a journalist, and then the older I got, the more I got into politics, I suppose. And so I just kind of went with it, and I'm a decent writer, so just took off. So I've always had an interest in black and white photography and candid images. This is kind of the beginning of my foray into more posed stuff, but I call myself a creep with a camera because I like to just like kind of stand around and like get candid images of people on the streets. There's something about when people don't know that they're being photographed and they're just being natural in their habitat that I think you get some really good images.
I really like the voyeur idea that we had talked about. I think it fits her. It fits a lot of stuff I've just heard about her.
I was a very angry kid, I think so, only because I was never given the opportunity by my family to do certain things. I wanted to get into sports, but my mom would always be like, no, we don't have the money for it, or you don't need it. And I feel like that's how much it started building up inside of me, of wanting to do things. I want to do boxing. There's this thing at the gym where you don't show up as often, or you just quit. People quit and they don't take you seriously. For the time that I've been doing boxing, I want to say that I've been taken seriously with the guys. I've been training with them, getting close one-on-one with them, which is perfect. I have their support, and most importantly, I feel like I have my coach's support, and that right here at the gym, it's very helpful when people believe in you and they take you seriously. When it comes to outside the gym, my family, everything is different views when it comes to that. Mainly, they don't like it because they feel like I will get a head concussion and I'm not gonna wake up from it. I'm gonna get a black eye. They rather want me to stop this whole thing. They feel like it's not healthy. They feel like, oh, you got anger issues. You know, you don't, unless you have anger issues, then go ahead and do boxing, but that's not what it's about. So hopefully I get to prove them wrong with time and stuff. They know what I do outside of the boxing gym, so they try not to get close to my face or anything. But even though, you know, even the body shots can still kind of, you know, hurt you, but I mean, just go for it. I can still walk it off. I want to get the ball rolling as soon as possible when it comes to the acting. I don't have much experience, but I am getting there working with local artists here in town. I see myself working with the industry hopefully in the next few years coming up. I want to expand more of my acting, and so far that's what I love to do at the moment. The modeling, it's concept modeling, and I love every minute of it and everyone I work with. And I feel like that helps big time as well, incorporating into the acting, because you're acting, you're still something else behind that lens. Acting has always been, I've been interested in it as well when I turned 16 years old. And that was because I was introduced to theater at that time. So I did my little theater time at my little middle school, and I liked it, and I kept going with it throughout high school as well. And I said, you know what, I want to do this. I feel like I'm just like, I get excited, you know, when I have an audience, or, you know, when you're not that person, you're this other person, and you're trying to make that person come alive, you know, that character. I want to be in film. Acting definitely will be it. That's what I want to do, and I will get there. At first, when I first started with everything overall, I said, no, I mean, I can't do this. I'm small, I'm only 5'2", like, and I'm Mexican. Mainly your ethnicity matters a lot when it comes to the industry too, and how people perceive you, because in reality it's true. But overall, being a woman in the whole art community, I feel like the drive that I have and the wanting to do it, and I don't need anyone else to push me. I can push myself, and knowing that I have that makes me feel like I can do it. There's no question to it. There's no, what do you think about this person thinking because you're a woman? No, I'm gonna do it, and I will do it.